Ladies and gentlemen, the following podcast is set for one episode. Your host from Columbus, Ohio, is Michael Kirk. Welcome to the Outlaw Mudcast. Hello and welcome to the Outlaw Mudcast, your digital audio dirt sheet for all things Supershow. And the biggest story this week in the Supershow is Rustmania 2. Rustmania 2 took place yesterday as I record this, May 15th. Let's run down what happened at Rustmania 2. We'll start with Friday night, the Rustmania 2 pre-show. Before I get into the pre-show, a lot of people showed up Friday night for the pre-show events. Even people who were not able to be at the actual Rustmania 2. Some notable people include Bob Dunn, Brian Vanderweel weren't able to be there for the main Rustmania 2 show. At the main Rustmania 2 show, people from all over the country showed up. Of course, a lot of the greats out of Rust Belt, James Booker, Matt Nealon, Dave Marisak ran the whole thing. Big thank you to Dave Marisak and everybody at Rust Belt that helped run it. Colin Brewer, Colin and Ann Moss. We had members from The Line, The Cannoli, Jeffrey Fox, Ken Fouché, the Deep South champion, Jonathan Thew made an appearance. We had Candyman Dan and Candyman show up, as well as Yasmin, Dottie Dart, Sierra Simon, the full Rack Pack in attendance for the first time ever. We had the SRG Boss, Sage the Wiccan Witch, Ariel Lipstick, and Victoria Joe, the entire Resk family on hand. Boston Sage, Black Lipstick, Boston Sage Babies, all there on site. Patrick Mulligan, Eddie Fury representing the Freak Show there. Griff and Jen Briggs, Corporate Law himself, Miss Southern Belle on site. So many more. Bobby Ohio, James Hand, so many people from the DWO, Sean Loeb, Chris Pate, Kirk Polka, Steel Wool came out. We had Firing Squad, Time Bomb Tim, the Judge, Tim Riley. There's so many names. I know I'm forgetting people. Mallory the Destroyer, Frequent Flyer, Colin the Chrononaut in full Chrononaut gear was on hand, making his debut at Rustmania 2. One of the biggest gatherings, Finland. Loudmouth Leo, almost forgot to mention Loudmouth Leo, came out representing the higher class. Just a huge, huge gathering. Evie Fresh from the Proving Ground. I gotta stop naming names because just so many great Super Show players came out for Rustmania 2 Friday and Saturday. But let's run through the pre-show for Rustmania 2. Friday night kicks off with a defense of the Midwest Coast Championship. Finland, using Finland, Anthony Hapapuro, the champion, takes on the challenger, Matt Nealon, using his own competitor card, Matt Nealon. The match goes to crowd meter 1, and Finland successfully defends he is still the Midwest Coast champion. That's followed up by a defense of the Tornado Tag Team Championship, the LFF Tornado Tag Team Championship. Chris Pate, the champion going in with Dangerous Alliance, gets challenged by the Cannoli, Anthony Perry, using the Good Night Express, which blanks the Dangerous Alliance's gimmick. So, takes away that powerful weapon from the Dangerous Alliance. But Chris Pate is able to win at crowd meter 3. He's still the champion. So even in the face of having a blank gimmick, Chris Pate walks out as the current LFF Tornado Tag Champion. 2 matches remain on the pre-show. Next up, the 6-Stop Challenge Championship. Ken Fouché, having won the championship at Huntsville Comic and Pop Culture Expo with King Hyena, faces his next challenger, Loudmouth Leo Larynx, using Loudmouth Leo Larynx. Crowd Meter 2 match, the winner, still champion, Ken Fouché. Finally, the last match of the night, a ladder match. The first of many ladder matches this weekend. Neil Nealon, the champion with the Trash Man, takes on Funtime Bob Odell, using Funtime Bob. A rematch of the 2019 CCC Finals. The winner here, and unfortunately I don't have the crowd meter, but the winner here, the Trash Man Neil Nealon. He retains. All the champions retain during the pre-show Friday night. Saturday, Rustmania 2 kicks off. The main tournament is a 6-round Swiss tournament with a cut to a top 16. It ends up being a clean cut. There are no need for any play-in games. We have a clean top 16. The stipulations in the top 16 were as follows. In the first round of the top cut, the top 16, all played using the Liger's Den stipulation. Next up, quarterfinal round, every match, steel chain match. The semifinals, steel cage, and the finals are a ladder match. I will bring this up because Dave Marisak did mention this to me. Little bit of a controversy, perhaps. In the quarterfinals, Eddie Fury and Kirk Polka played off using the steel cage stipulation. And that's right, you heard me correctly, steel cage. In the quarterfinal round, it was supposed to be steel chain. Eddie Fury won that match. They ended up agreeing to replay it using the correct stipulation, and Kirk Polka wins, which is important because Kirk Polka goes on to be one of the 2 finalists in this tournament. Kirk Polka, using Sierra Nevada, faces off against the Phoenix Evie Fresh Everett Stevens using King Pink. So Kirk Polka gets a break, is able to capitalize on that break, make the finals. This finals is also a ladder match. Like I mentioned just a moment ago, second ladder match of the tournament. It is a great match. It ends up going to crowd meter 5. In the end, the winner of the Rustmania 2 Create a Competitor tournament, winning, I believe, his second Create a Competitor tournament, joining James Booker and Matt Smith as 2-time Create a Competitor tournament winners, is the phenomenal one, Kirk Polka. Congratulations to Kirk Polka for winning Rustmania 2. The other big matches on the Rustmania 2 card. These are in no particular order. I'll give you as much information as I can. I was not able to see all of these matches. But let's start with the Hardcore Championship. Eddie Fury, the champion with Eddie Fury, defended his Hardcore Championship against Big Jim Bias. Big Jim Bias was using Amazing Red, a competitor that's been used to win the Gen Con World Heavyweight Championship Tournament twice, giving Eddie Fury what should be, on paper, a strong challenge. The match only ends up going about 5 minutes, and at crowd meter 1, Eddie Fury retains. He is still the Hardcore Champion, successfully defending in a TLC, a tables, ladders, and steel chain match. Next up, the Trios Championship was defended. Mallory the Destroyer, using the My Girls Trio, is challenged by Yasmin. Yasmin was handpicked by the Italian Bombata Chris Pagillo as the challenger, with the following on the line. If Yasmin were to win at Rustmania 2, her first opponent as champion would be the Italian Bombata. If she were to lose, the general manager, John Clace, would pick Mallory's next opponent. So Yasmin and Mallory the Destroyer squared off. Yasmin using the line, a very good trios competitor, strong gimmick on the line. I don't have the crowd meter information here, but in what I felt like watching it was a very even match. Yasmin walks out as the new LFF Trios champion. Congratulations to her. Yasmin becomes the newest LFF Trios champion after a long reign from Mallory the Destroyer. She becomes the first member of the Rack Pack to actually hold LFF Championship Gold. Congratulations to her. There was a defense of the All-Ohio Tag Team Championships. The current champions who won the titles back at Marktoberfest 2 were DJ Colin and Ann Moss. DJ Colin used DJ Outlaw, and Moss used Numero Uno. They were challenged by a BCW tag team, the team of Colin Simon, using Colin the Chrononaut, and Keith Overby using the Frequent Flyer. I was not able to watch this match, but in a match that went all the way to Crowd Meter 5, the champions retained. DJ Colin and Ann Moss are still the All-Ohio Tag Team Champions. Congratulations to them. Very happy to see DJ Outlaw holding gold in the LFF, even if it is just the All-Ohio Tag Team Championships. Very happy to see the number one DJ Outlaw fan doing well with DJ Outlaw. The last match I'm going to talk about, a non-title match at Rustmania 2, the Soul on a Pole match. James Booker and Candyman have been feuding for quite a while over the soul of the LFF. Two opposing viewpoints deciding the only way to settle this was in the ring in a ladder match, the third and final ladder match of Rustmania 2. James Booker goes in using Master Asmodeus, the Keeper of Prisoners. Candyman using Ember Wolf. Ember Wolf has a great gimmick for a ladder match. Her gimmick, in the same vein as Press 1 John P. and Johnny Gargano, when she hits a submission, she flips 2 cards and she can add a strike from her discard to her hand. Very strong. James Booker, with Master Asmodeus, has that gimmick where he can put cards into play starting at Crowd Meter 1. At Crowd Meter 2, you can put lead and follow-up into play, so all he has to do is hit finish. And he's got that death choke, which when it hits at Crowd Meter 3, the match will end in a ladder match. It goes to Crowd Meter 3, and very shortly after Crowd Meter 3, James Booker does what I've just described, hits the death choke, and wins. James Booker of Impact is in control of the soul of the LFF. What does that mean for the Legendary Fighting Federation? We don't know. But that's where that stands. Finally, this match was supposed to happen at Rustmania 2, but it got pushed to the post-show at Foxworthy Arena, live at the Radisson Hotel. Jonathan Thew, Hold the Line Harry, was made to defend his belt, the Deep South Championship, by Chibi against Ken Fouché. They faced off in a last man standing match. The champion using Mila Mai, the challenger using Grim Librarian. I was not able to get the crowd meter information off this match. I watched it, followed as best I could. I did see that early on, Ken Fouché was able to eliminate one of Hold the Line Harry's finishes, the strike finish. For those of you who aren't familiar, in a last man standing match, when a finish is hit, you get 10 breakout rolls. If you roll your highest skill, you break out. There's an alternative finish where, for each failed breakout roll, the opponent can ask you to reveal cards from your hand, deck, or discard pile randomly, or in the case of deck, the top cards. And if you reveal a finish 28, 29, or 30, it's removed from the game. Once 3 of those finishes are removed, once 28, 29, and 30 are removed, the game ends. Like I said before, Hold the Line Harry lost a finish early, but he was able to hit a finish later, and Ken Fuche could not break out in 10 breakout rolls. Hold the Line Harry is still the Deep South champion with Mila Mai. Congratulations to him. Congratulations to all of the champions. This was a weekend where all the champions, except for Mal the Destroyer, retained. Congratulations to all the winners. Congratulations to everyone for coming out. It was great seeing everybody again. The next big and live in-person event is going to be June 5th at Highlander Games in Boonton, New Jersey. They're calling it the Supershow Summer Brawl. It's a create a card tournament, $15 entrance fee. I don't know what the cutoff for the event is. I don't know how many spots they're going to sell. They have announced that there will be random stipulations in the top 8. That's going on. Highlander Games, Boonton, New Jersey. Highlander Games, owned by Anthony Medvez, the true survivor who was on hand at Rustmania 2. It was great to see him because we missed him at Oktoberfest 2. He did step out of retirement. I don't know if that's temporarily, permanently, but it was nice to see Anthony Medvez back in action at Rustmania 2, and he'll be there hosting his own tournament in just a few weeks. Speaking of other future tournaments, no updates on anything going on Memorial Day weekend. There have been talks about an event that weekend, a defense of the LFF World Heavyweight Championship and Underworld Championship that weekend. I did report last week that Polverino had to make the decision. Would he get a normal singles match and Peppy Pepper get a stipulation match, or the other way around? He has chosen. He chose to take the standard singles match to defend the LFF World Heavyweight Championship. Peppy Pepper will have to defend in an unknown stipulation when he defends next. Since we're talking about future tournaments, last week I reported on Steel City Con. I have no new information on Steel City Con. As far as I know, I'm sticking by my reporting that SRG Universe will be there, but they have announced nothing at this point. That could change. I hope that the information I've given you is true, that they will be at Steel City Con June 11th through 13th, but they have not confirmed that publicly as far as I know. If they are there, I hope to see everyone there. I will try to make that convention. And since I also brought up future events, talking about Memorial Day weekend, there are a couple of events going on right now for championships. First, there's an event going on right now, Tornado Tag Team Tournament, to determine who will next challenge Chris Pate for the LFF Tornado Tag Team Championship. That tournament has reached a top 4. The final 4 players in the tournament are Kirk Polka, Bob Dunn, the Grump Danny Thunder, and the SRG boss Steve Resk. Those 4 will face off in some capacity, the winner of which will go on to face Chris Pate for the belt. The other tournament was actually something that the SRG boss announced May 12th on Talk of the Universe, a 16-man tournament to crown the next challenger for the United States Championship. Half of the players were on hand at Rustmania 2, the other half were not. The brackets were set up so the half on site would face off, the half off site would face off online. After all said and done, the finalists were from Rustmania 2 using unique Candyman, from the online group using Razzle Dazzle, Andrew Trebbing, Candyman and Andrew Trebing will square off. The winner will get a shot at the United States Championship unless Big Match Pete decides to forego his shot at the hardcore belt to face the winner between Candyman and Andrew Trebing. And if he wins that match, he will be the next challenger for the U.S. Championship. What's going to happen there? That remains to be seen. The first step's going to be Candyman versus Andrew Trebing. I don't know when that match is going to happen. I know I'll be on the lookout for it, and I'll report on what happens there once that match goes down. Outside of that, some other bits of news. Not a lot of news outside of Rustmania 2. Most of what happened on Talk of the Universe, the new things they released, were they previewed a lot of cards that are going to be in the upcoming Ring of Fire themed deck. If you're interested in seeing the art and what those cards do, I urge you to check out Talk of the Universe for May 12th. They'll have those images up there. I meant to mention this a moment ago when I talked about the Highlander Games Tournament, but if you end up going to the Highlander Games Tournament June 5th, later on that same night, the LFF's own TJ Marconi, currently the IWA champion, will be in the main event at a wrestling show. Both of those events are currently posted on the SRG Supershow discussion group Facebook page under the events tab. So check that out. That's all the information about both the Highlander tournament and the Marconi wrestling event. That was really the big news for this week. Some other minor things. We had a lot of new cards come out, release, both in person at WrestleMania 2 as well as online. Some notable ones just going off the top of my head. The new Evilise competitor and the new Caleb Conley, Caleb with a K competitor sets both made their debut. I saw the Oracle set came out, Colin the Chrononaut, Ryan Nealon got his own set that came out, Lord Thompson, the Jesse Vining set came out. Both of those sets made in tribute to players and friends of players who have passed recently. Speaking of recent deaths, there's no great place to bring this up, but I'll bring it up here. During the weekend, while we were at WrestleMania 2, the news hit that recent LFF signing, New Jack, died. I know New Jack was a controversial figure in life, had his fans, had his detractors. I don't know a lot about him. I never really followed him when he was wrestling, but just want to bring that up, that he too passed because he is a recent LFF signing. I know a lot of people were looking forward to his competitor set coming out. It's still going to come out. The boss actually released an image of the competitor card. The art's finished on it. The stats are set. There's no gimmick. But I just wanted to bring that up, that Jesse Vining's card came out and Lord Thompson's card came out. Other tag teams, trios, entrance cards, a lot of new things came out. Check out the images on supershowthegame.com. Check out the images on the SRG Supershow discussion group Facebook page. They're all there. Check out srgpc.net. I'm sure they're updating those images as they get them. Again, that's a great resource, the SRG Performance Center, created by Kylan Buchter, Dom Buchter, Robert Dowdy, their father's card. Also, their late father, we bring that up to another tribute card. Big Daddy Buchter came out. A lot of great competitors came out. Too many to mention, so I'm just going to stop mentioning them. Let's talk about the other tournaments from this past week. Monday night, we had a Proving Ground tournament. Raven's Blood, cemetery stipulations for every match. That stipulation recently went on sale this last Wednesday, so new stipulation out there if anyone wants to check that out. Top four in the event were, in fourth place, using Grande Gallo, the judge Tim Riley. In third, using Overdog, Kylan Buchter. The finalists were Chris Pate with Sammy the Draw Callahan, and Bob Dunn with King Kong Dundee. The winner, Chris Pate with Sammy the Draw Callahan. The other tournament this week was a Thursday night tournament, Chibi's Thursday Night Fights, group stage tournament, cut to a top 8, steel cage stipulation for top 8 matches, ladder stipulation for top 4 matches, the finals, and the third place match were lumberjack matches. In fourth place with X-Royce, Chris Pate, the Monday night winner. In third place with Mac Attack, Time Bomb Tim Creaser. The finalists for Chibi's event were, with the Masked Llama, Jonathan Thew, and with the Cannoli, Jeremy Steigerwald. 2 members of the line going at it. The winner, Jeremy Steigerwald with the Cannoli. Congratulations to him. Congratulations to all the winners from this past week. Finally, let's talk about the upcoming events for SupershowTheGame.com online. Of course, I already talked about the Super Show Summer Brawl, June 5th. I've already talked about the possibility of Steel City Con and the potential Memorial Day weekend event. What is currently posted on SupershowTheGame.com as far as future online events is nothing. Once again, there's nothing to report. So I'm just going to have to speculate. Proving Ground Tournament Monday night. Almost certainly going to happen. While it's not posted on the website, there was a posting with the results that in the next event, every match will be a special guest referee match. The special guest referee being El Llama and Mascarada Senor. He's one of my favorite characters. I've played him in the past. Haven't played him for a while. May look to play him again, but great special guest referee. That's the next Monday night Proving Ground. Probably $5 entrance fee. Look for that to get posted sometime Monday. I don't know if there's going to be anything Thursday, but look for that. Dojo Tuesday night. Certain that's going to happen. Probably going to be a lot of deals Tuesday because there are a lot of new releases, and I imagine people will be playing for those, wanting to get their hands on them. If there's something that caught your eye that came out, you want to get your hands on it, play for it in the dojo. Also, watch Super Show the Game because anything that is played for in the dojo that the player challenging does not win gets discounted on SupershowTheGame.com. So, probably a lot of new items on sale as well. But outside of that, I don't have any news on any tournaments coming up other than to say watch SupershowTheGame.com and to check the online events section for postings. Otherwise, that is going to do it for this week's episode of the Outlaw Mudcast. I'd like to thank all of you for listening, and good day.